Hey, I'm Mike Baccarella, and today we're going to take a look at a really typical bebop cliche from a Charlie Parker solo and look at ways that he resolved that idea. Let's take a look. This line comes from one of the many recordings of Relax in a Camarillo that Charlie Parker did during his life. So the tune Relax in a Camarillo is a blues in the key of C. And as you're playing through the form, just before you get to the 2-5 that leads back to the 1, a lot of times people put a dominant 6 chord in there, which leads to the 2. And that's where this line takes place. Now we can view this purely as a 5-1, or we can view it as something to do within the blues. So when we look at this line, it's playing over an A7 chord. So A7, A, C sharp, E, and G. Now the core concept of this line is the idea if you replace the root of the A7 chord with the flat 9, so with the B flat, when you do that, you get a diminished 7th chord. And so a lot of guys use this. A lot of the bebop guys would use this when playing over a dominant 7th chord because it adds the flat 9 to the already existing arpeggio you have. And so in this particular line, Charlie Parker goes up the arpeggio from the third, so C sharp, E, G, A, and there's a little trill from the B flat, the flat 9, to the C, which is a sharp 9, and then goes to the root, A, and the E, fifth. Now that's a line that shows up in Charlie Parker's playing all over the place. It even shows up within the melody of Donna Lee multiple times. It's like bebop lick 1A. As far as I'm concerned. Charlie Parker and all the guys play that all the time. It's like the bebop equivalent of... No, we're looking at this idea. Getting from that diminished 7th chord, that 7 flat 9 arpeggio, to a minor 1 chord, which is where we're going, because we're going to D minor, right? It's really easy, because we can take that B flat, go to the 5th, we can take the E and go up to the F, we can take the C sharp and go up to the D. So there's a lot of inherent resolutions. And there's a million ways you can get out of this part of the line. And that's the way Charlie does it here. But we could do this. Do that. So instead of going from the root to the 5th to the 3rd of the D minor, we went and walked straight down. So right there I jump up to the flat 9, pull up to the root, and close my flat 3rd. If we're going over a major chord, we do the same kind of stuff. Up to my F sharp there. And go. There's a million ways you can use this line. And all these different resolutions will take you to different places when you get to the next chord. And so I think it's really important to explore not only the line as Charlie played it, but to also explore different ways to get in and out of it to make it your own. Because that's how we internalize this vocabulary, to make it a way we can actually speak natively. So now for the D minor chord, what he does here is he goes 4, flat 3, and he pulls down an F major triad right here, which ends up being just the flat 7, 5th, and flat 3rd of our D minor. And then he jumps back up to the 9th, the E, and goes to the root. This is another kind of bebop cliche. Now when we put that together with the line over the A7 chord, what we end up doing is we end up enclosing that 3rd, right? So this is over D minor. We use it over F major. Because when we do it over F, we're going 2nd, root, or right down the triad, major 7, 6. All good tones, right? We could even do it a different way, where we could go up, we can do it over C major, and move up to E minor. So rather than do a D minor shape, we'll do E minor. We superimpose the 3 chord, which is the E minor. We do this line, we end up with 6, 5th, we're going down a G major arpeggio, which is as it relates to C, we have the ninth, we have the major 7, the 5th, sharp 11, and land on the 3rd. That's a lot of great colors over that chord. We could even change it up a little bit. Say I'm playing over a G7 altered chord. I can change the shape a little bit and go up a half step and visualize it over a G7 altered or like an A flat minor. So I can go. So what I'll do is I'll start on this B flat here, in the 11th fret, 2nd string, A flat. So I got sharp 9, flat 9. I got my E flat here, which is my sharp 5. My 3rd, which is the B or C flat in the case of A flat. And then my flat 9 here, root, flat 7. So I could take this idea, the same idea, play D minor 7, G7 altered, C major 7. So I could go, and I could do this a couple different ways. I can go. I can resolve it to the E minor, or I can do it over the 6th chord, which is what we did over the F major initially, right? I can go up to A minor, so I can go. Now I've taken this one bebop line from Charlie Parker's solo, and now I've got a ton of uses for it. So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. There's a lot here to grab. We have that 7 flat 9 arpeggio, which is just a diminished our 7th arpeggio going up a half step. We have a talk about different ways to resolve these lines. And then we have the multiple uses we can get over that minor cliche. So there's a lot here to grab and work with and work into your playing. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Keep practicing. I'll see you next time.